What's up, everybody? My name is John Patton, and I want to propose that the University of South Carolina should start an NCAA Rifle Team. Before I get started in that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a U.S. Marine veteran. I served in both Operation Iraqi and Enduring Freedom. I am a distinguished shooter. I am a college All-American shooter. I made a national championship run in 2017. And I am currently training to try out for Team USA, where I will hopefully one day shoot for the United States on the Olympic level. Alright, so NCAA rifle consists of shooting two different guns. You have an air rifle and a small bore rifle. Air rifle is obviously just a pellet rifle shot with compressed air, and these are some high speed rifles, right? And they are Olympic level rifles. Okay, the same thing with small bore. Small bore rifles are a 22 long rifle bullet that you're shooting. So you're shooting a 22 rifle. And again, these are all Olympic style rifles, and this is all Olympic style shooting. This is the same courses of fire that USA shooting shoots and competes in the Olympics, the World Games, World Championships, all that good stuff. This is the exact same shooting as the Olympics. Alright, so let me dive in to why bringing an NCAA rifle team will be beneficial to the University of South Carolina. So there is a vast amount of skilled shooting talent here in South Carolina. A team at USC would draw the best, the absolute best of in-state talent to form a highly successful team in a very, very short amount of time. Number two, the university and the athletic department would greatly benefit from a collegiate shooting program. Rifle teams generally maintain a higher female membership, therefore will aid in Title IX. And for anyone who's not familiar with what Title IX is pretty much rules and laws that prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex and education programs receiving federal financial assistance. Therefore, what it's pretty much saying, Title IX is equal opportunity for every athlete. It's pretty much what that boils down to. And bringing a rifle team to University of South Carolina will meet all Title IX criteria. Number three, benefits to the student athletes. The sport provides a competitive outlet for any student athlete regardless of age, sex, athletic talent, physical strengths, or disabilities. Females will find the sport very appealing due to its gender-neutral nature. It promotes gender equality. The attention to detail that goes in play with a rifle will carry over to your academics. Therefore, these student athletes will be more attentive, more attention to detail, more focused on their academics also, not just the sport. So they usually tend to have higher GPAs in the sport of rifle than generally most other sports. Number four, low startup cost. Starting up a college rifle team, the startup costs are very, very low compared to most other sports. So you're looking at, as far as starting a rifle program, you're going to require several rifles with both air rifle and small bore rifle. You're going to require a shooting jacket, shooting pants, boots, ammunition, as far as 22 ammo and pellets, and basic other needs. So you're looking roughly at a very, very, very low cost. Roughly, and I'm just throwing a number out top of my head, roughly $60,000 to $80,000 to start up this program. That's all you're going to need to start this program. That's very, very, very low cost to start a program up. And that's why this sport would be beneficial, because it's a low cost and it's very low to maintain. You don't need a lot of money to maintain this sport either. Number five, where would these matches be held? Where will these practices be held? Well, ideally, and this is best case, perfect world scenario, is that obviously there would be a dedicated range, a dedicated marksmanship facility for this rifle team. But we're talking long term. That's long term plans, all right? But for the time being, and you don't even have to build a shooting facility at all if you utilize what you have. So most big universities that have rifle programs, they use their basketball stadiums to host their matches, right? So that's all you're going to need is for a program at University of South Carolina, you could use the Colonial Life Arena to host our matches, which will also let you be able to bid on hosting the national championship, a conference championship there. You could use the Colonial Life Arena. Or, to make things even better, use the Carolina Coliseum. You can dedicate that whole building, that whole facility, well, not dedicate it, but you could allow the rifle team to use the Carolina Coliseum for their practices and to host their matches there. Because as of right now, to my knowledge, women's basketball team is the only ones who are using it for practice. So why not open that facility up for a University of South Carolina rifle team also? You have the facilities on campus. You don't even have to spend the money on building a shooting facility if you choose that route. If you choose to go to the Carolina Coliseum or Colonial Life Arena, my opinion, dedicate dedicate Carolina Coliseum to a University of South Carolina rifle team. And let us use that. We'll use that for practices. We'll host our matches there. And for the really big matches or the really big bids, we'll hop on over to Colonial Life Arena, to put on a show there. So you have the facilities on campus. You have the facilities there to make this happen. So you don't even have to spend the money to build a shooting facility. Now, yes, ideally that would be great if we had our own facility, but it's not necessary. You can make this rifle team work. You can make this rifle team happen with the facilities that you already have on campus. Number 6, I would turn this sport into a revenue generating sport for the athletic department. Now, I know not every sport that University of South Carolina has is revenue generating, meaning that I know that them sports does not make the college any money. Well, I'm here to tell you that I would make the University of South Carolina rifle team a revenue generating sport. Now, it's not going to be as much as the football team makes or the basketball teams make. Obviously, the bigger end sports are going to make a lot more money, but under my plan and under my guidance, a South Carolina rifle team will bring in some kind of revenue. With the plans that I have and the plans that I will put in place, there will be revenue made from the University of South Carolina rifle team. And to just throw out a little preview of the plans that I would implement. So for instance, once we got this program up and running, during the off season, I would still host matches for your local JROTC high schools to come compete with their rifle teams. Imagine these high school rifle teams are coming to your facilities to compete on nice targets, a nice range, and then you charge entry fees. Every match has an entry fee, and so you charge these schools entry fees to come and shoot your match. So I would host these matches, they would pay their entry fees, and I, in turns, would turn around and give those entry fees back to the athletic department. It's little things like that that will add up and make this sport some money. I would host classes and clinics for students on campus, for teachers on campus who are interested in learning marksmanship. And in turns, that would require a fee for some or all, whatever the case may be, and that will attract people to come in and shoot. I could host fun matches. I can host like alumni nights for alumni to come and compete against the rifle team. Pay a few bucks to come in and shoot, whatever. The sky is the limit as far as revenue goes. We can make this sport be a revenue generating sport if we have the opportunity to do so. Number 7, a new conference. We would be one step closer to creating an SEC, Southeastern Conference Rifle Conference. As of right now, there is no SEC Rifle Conference. So currently we have 2 SEC teams that are competing in rifle, which is your reigning back-to-back national champions, University of Kentucky, and Ole Miss. But because there's no SEC conference, because there's not enough teams from the conference to have a rifle team, they can't make an SEC conference. So South Carolina starts a team. They are one step and one team away from creating the SEC conference rifle. So that would bring the teams up to 3 teams for the SEC, and that would be the motivation for a 4th team in the SEC to create a rifle program and create the SEC Rifle Conference. And that alone right there will help the University of South Carolina attract more recruits because it's the SEC. All your big name recruits want to compete in the SEC because it is the best conference in the NCAA. Number 8, recruiting. With my military background and my current shooting competitor background and the national governing bodies that I'm a member of, I have access to a lot of data where I can scout and I can recruit. I can recruit the greatest athletes in the country, not just our state. Now, our state has a heavy talent for shooting. But I can branch out with all the data that I have and can go scout and recruit, not just in our state, but the rest of the country. But to be able to do so, we have to be able to attract these recruits to come shoot for this program. Therefore, by having a good facility for them to come shoot in, such as Colonial Life Arena or Carolina Coliseum, something along those lines. Now, obviously, first year or 2 is going to be a little rough getting started. But I can promise you, by that 3rd year, once we've been established and we're making a conference / national championship run, that's going to attract the recruits from all across the country to the University of South Carolina. That's going to attract them to Columbia, South Carolina. That's going to attract them to Gamecock Nation. Number 9, and by far probably the most important reason, is safety. Of course, everyone's thinking firearms and weapons and stuff. It's dangerous. But it's not. It is in a sense. But as of today, there has not been one single fatality in the sport of shooting since its establishment in the very first Olympic Games. The very first Olympic Games. There has not been one fatality in the sport of shooting. So now think of that as far as other sports. How many people have died on a football field or, basketball court, something like that, from, heart problems or something like that. Literally, there has never been a fatality in the sport of shooting, therefore making it by far one of the safest sports to compete in. Now, that sounds amazing. And that is something to be proud of as a competitor myself, as a coach myself. That statistic alone is something to be proud of. And in the firearms world and in the shooting community, we take safety very, very serious. And because we are so hard on our safety rules, that is why that statistic is there. That is why there has not been a single fatality ever. Because we are so hard on our safety rules and we enforce them, and we are so disciplined as competitors and coaches and officials. We are so disciplined that we don't allow accidents to happen. And last but not least, number 10. It's fun. It's challenging. It's a fun, challenging sport. Not anybody can pick up a rifle, put it in their shoulder, and shoot a 10 ring that's the size of a pencil lead consistently over and over and over and over. That is very, very challenging. Very hard. It takes special individuals to be able to do that. But it's a fun, competitive sport. And it will be a great asset on campus to the University of South Carolina. The support for the team will be amazing. South Carolina has a lot of support for the shooting community. South Carolinians, I guess, just naturally love the shooting sports. And there is so much support that we can get from the community to start this University of South Carolina Rifle Team. Amazing support. In conclusion, a rifle team would be a true asset to the University of South Carolina in many ways compared to other varsity sports. The financial burden alone is light and is far outweighed by the benefits. This team would allow the university to recruit some of the most successful student athletes in South Carolina and across the nation. I really look forward to working further with the University of South Carolina in the establishment of this program. I hope you guys are willing to give it a shot, give it a thought. I would love to meet up with the athletic director, maybe even the board, and let's have a serious conversation about this program. I think it would be a great, very great opportunity for not only for the student athletes, but for students on campus to be exposed to another sport that they're not even aware of. The staff, faculty and staff, would benefit from this. As in, I could get them involved to come check us out. But it could be a very, very great and successful program. And I look forward to working on the establishment of this university program. If you liked this video, podcast, hit that like button. Share it. Share it on all your social media platforms. Because I really want to get this team up and running. I feel like it's been my calling to coach an NCAA rifle team. But me being born and bred in South Carolina, in the Columbia area, I feel like coaching a rifle team in my hometown is what I've been called to do. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get this program started. And we're going to take this team to high levels in the NCAA rifle world. So please, please, please like this video, comment. Tell me what you think about in the comments. In the comment section, tell me what you think about this team. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you support it or do you don't support it? Tell me why you do, why you don't. But please, like, comment, share. I want to get this thing some traction. I want to get as many eyes as possible on this video, on this podcast. Everything we can do in our power to get this thing up and running. Again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it this long, I appreciate you. Again, I will be posting follow-ups from this proposal. And we'll see where this thing goes. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'll talk to y'all later.